Cute, sexy, and fun. You're watching CSF Nation's Own WMK TV, Channel 90.
All right, here we go. Sorry about that.
Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer.
All right. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's go get right into it. Good morning, CSF Nation. I'm Makini, 90 Sherman, and Illustrator. Welcome you to another video here. Welcome you to an early Wednesday morning edition of Makini in the morning. Let's get right into it. So, there has been nothing but discourse surrounding this whole Intergalactic trailer and interactive trailer, just nonsense and such like that. And I guess this is me just kind of biting the bullet on this one. This is me just kind of taking a hit on this one. So what we're going to do today, and why I'm doing this early, is because I want to do we're going to do how I would design the character of Jordan within the Intergalactic trailer. So I'm going to go break through and we're going to break down what is going on with this situation, because Asmongold's tweet caught up a storm, and now we're getting into this discussion of, you know, attractiveness in gaming and such like that. And my thing is that this is basically the very reason why I say never apologize for wanting to attract women in your media, especially in video games, and don't ever apologize for wanting to even criticize stuff like this. Okay, let me just get that out of the way. If you got something to say about it, go ahead and say it. Don't let anybody demonize you, because that's what don't let any people demonize you, because it's the same song and dance. It's the same song and dance. So we are going to go in and I'm going to design Jordan from Intergalactic. I've done a redraw. I've done a little redraw this time I'm going to do a redesign. I'm going to do how I would do it. So I just want to just for all the lurkers and everybody watching, this is my opinion and this is how I would do it. So let's get right into it, guys. Smack that like button and make it jiggle. You know, Skylar, just go in.
Konnichiwa, CSF Nation. I am Skylar Takamoto, one of the hosts on Makini Live, along with Rihanna, Kiki, and Saya. Just want to remind you to smack that like button and make it jiggle, and smack that subscribe button to make it jiggle as well if you want to see more content from Makini. We hope you enjoy the show. Arigatou gozaimasu.
All right, let's do this. Okay. Well, I dropped the video yesterday on the games that I was looking forward to from the Game Awards, and if you guys have not checked that out, please do so. I will leave a link to that video in the description, so I hope you guys get a chance to see that. Let me go ahead. In fact, let me just go ahead and put that video up right now. So where's my video? Where is it? So yeah, let's get some more eyes on it. It was a much more of a positive video. This one is going to be a bit more on the negative side. So we got Clip Studio Paint open up. Let's go ahead and open up a new tab. Let's go open up a new canvas. And what we're going to do, we're going to keep the Pomodoro technique. We're going to keep everything in the Pomodoro technique. We're going to do 25 minutes per. We're going to do 25 minutes per. And within every 25 minutes, so we're going to do, if the first 25, we're just going to do a rough sketch. We're going to do a rough sketch. We're going to do a base sketch, and let's just get some. I'm going to break down what. Eating oatmeal right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to break down what This is what I would do. This is what I would do. This would be my own design of Jordan from Intergalactic. Of course, using Tati Gabrielle as the model. And I'm going to try to break down what doesn't work for me without ever having to say woke or DEI or ugly. Which, for me personally, that's actually pretty easy. For me, that's actually very easy to do. That's actually very, very easy to do. So, all right. And then, after the first 25 minutes, we're going to go over some of the tweets. We're going to do a quick 10-minute break. We're going to go over some of the tweets that were surrounding this whole thing. And specifically, one tweet that I thought was very interesting. I should have kept that quote tweet up yesterday, but we might go a couple of tweets. We're going to go over a couple of videos too, going through this whole detail. So let's do this. I'm going to have I am not going to, you know what, screw it. We'll make my next, We'll make it my next video. I need to make some more video. I need to make some more speed painting and video content on the channel anyway. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's do this. All right. So first one, we're gonna brainstorm a pose, basically. So the first thing we're gonna do is brainstorm a pose and go into where I kind of find fault with the design. And like I said, apologies if I'm stuttering my words here, but just remember, this is my opinion. So, all right. Let's go and get right into it. All right, 3, 2, 1, and now let's go and get started. Okay. Originally I was going to do Squirrel Girl. Originally I was going to do Squirrel Girl today, but apparently my file got corrupted on my tablet. So I'm gonna have to redo the rendering again. Unfortunately, I didn't get too far anyway. So fortunately, I probably didn't get too far in the rendering process. But let's go ahead and we're going to use. In fact, we're going to use those same brushes that I was referring to on that same brush that I was referring to on Monday. Those brushes that I was referring to, we're going to use those same ones. So we're going to do. We're going to do a quick thumbnail. I'm gonna do a quick thumbnails, and then we're just gonna get into on the roughs and such like that. So let's go ahead and set up a pose first. So someone's just gonna get just a line up a pose just real quick on how I would do it, because where do I start? Where can I start? The thing with Jordan's design is that I would probably argue that it's pattern recognition. What we said this on Saturday, it is pattern recognition. Okay, it is way. I think that's what we're bringing up on Sunday, is that it is basic pattern recognition, and because we're seeing this trope all the time, and it's like the whole thing with this whole counter argument of just being like you just want stuff to fap to or stuff like that, and it's like no, you absolutely not. That's not what that's definitely not what we're trying to say. And you can still create conventionally attractive characters. He doesn't need to be. Both designs are fine. Okay? Designs, this is what you want to make. That's totally fine. This is just how I want to do it, because I'm coming at this from the people who want to try and demonize us again, because that's where my tagline comes from. That's the kind of issue that I'm fighting for, because now we're getting into what my territory is now. So I think this might be a good pose for this one. The first one is the way I see it is, I thought that I thought that was a turn off that you would just go into shaving the hair of the character, which I was completely off-putting, which I did find off-putting at first, and which I did find off-putting at first. You can make muscular females, you can make toned up females, you can have a feminine form, but there's a little bit of a masculineness there's a little bit of a lack of femininity with Jordan's design. Not saying it has to be, but that's just a turn off for me. Am I saying trying to get my words right. Am I saying that a design like Jordan shouldn't exist? No, make what you want. It's just that for me, it's just not appealing. It's just not enticing me to want to play the game. Plus, it has the stick of Druckmann in it, so that the writing is what I'm going to be probably more focused on how this character is written and portrayed. There's also a feeling of insufferability. I guess. I know that's not a word, but to make a design, essentially what I'm saying is to have a character design that is insufferable, as in it's unlikable, annoying. It's like, really, this is not like, that's why I said that this is it feels like a fake attempt at trying to be a tough, like, girl boss, like an Ellen Ripley in Aliens 3, or even I would argue in Terminator 2 as well, because that still works, because the Terminator 2 design, I think, is a good reference point to start off with, because I think that still works. And I just think that I think what works about it is that you can still see that God, it's been so long. Oh my God. God, it's been so long. I should know this freaking game. It's Sarah Connor. Yeah. Sarah Connor in Terminator 2. And I want to bring this up because that can still Sarah Connor can still work. She can still be Sarah Connor was still tough. Sarah Connor was still a badass. Sarah Connor was still feminine as well. It was like nothing had to be compromised. I actually do like that. I actually do like this. I actually do like this pose. I think this pose can work. So let's go move forward with this one then. It never comes off as the design here. The design with Jordan is just, I say it's pattern recognition because you want to create this tough, like potentially girl boss character, but this is where I drew the problem with Captain Marvel was that it's unlikable. Just because you have a tough character doesn't make him that it's going to make him likable. It makes you want to resonate with him, though. And I just don't. And unless there's a really good in-universe explanation to why she would cut her hair, especially in an 80s sci-fi atmosphere, I just don't see that. I just don't see that other than just a potential design choice. But this ain't it. I'm sorry. This ain't it. Ellen did it better. Ellen did it better. Even in the worst Aliens film, Ellen Ripley did it better. Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 did it so much better. And it doesn't even have. And the best part is that it doesn't even have to be. Best part is that you can make just an appealing, a really good character, a really good design character without, and it doesn't have to be attractive. It doesn't have to be overly attractive, overly sexualized. That's where I'm trying. That's the point where I'm drawing. So I'm playing. The way I see it is I'm gonna try to play within the rules, within the boundaries of Intergalactic, within the boundaries of the character design and such like that. And I'm going to try and just really using those kind of boundaries, how I would go at it, how I would design this character. Let me know if I am being. Let me know if I'm not being clear on my feelings towards on my criticisms or what I'm trying to say right now. Let me know if I'm not being clear, because I feel like I'm trying to get the cadence of my words out. I'm trying to get what I want to say out. Because do I think the character is ugly? No. Do I think the design? No. They did. We can give it this. Compared to that absolute turd that was Kay Vess's design in Star Wars Outlaws, and how it looked nothing and absolutely nothing like like Humberly Gonzalez. Not even close. I feel like it was absolutely deliberate. This is a step up. Okay, this is a major step up in my humble opinion. This is a major step up in my humble opinion, okay? However, I said this in the video that I posted up yesterday on how this on how the game Screamer does a better job at referencing Akira than this is, honestly. This one just feels like it's just trying to ride on the coattails. It really does feel like it's just trying to ride on the coattails of Akira. Let's go ahead and Now, this, and we're going to get into this whole because we got 14 minutes left, and I'm going to go over some of the tweets, and we're going to also go over some of the videos as during our first like 10-minute break, our first 5 minute break, I guess, first 5-10 minute break, and we're going to go over a couple of tweets too, because this whole this whole thing with this whole thing just kind of opened the floodgates. This whole discussion about her is just it's not right on the coattails because it failed at doing so. Yeah, that's how I see it. I agree. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Sean. That's how I see it, though. So, like I said, I am playing towards. Like I said, I'm going to play within the realms. I am going to play in the realms of Jordan's design. Okay, I'm going to play within that realm, and not like step too far out of it. Because we can also bring up the whole race angle with this, because Tatiana Gabrielle is half black, half Korean. So we could play to that angle as well. But let's go ahead and break this down, because we only got 12 minutes here, and I feel like I'm messing up the cadence of my work right now. I feel like I'm messing it up right now. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Okay. So I'll start with the jacket. The jacket I'm fine with for the most part. In fact, I do dig the 80s like stripe colors along with the Pegasus pattern on the back. I do dig that. How would I do it differently? The way I would do it differently I would probably shorten the jacket a bit more. Honestly, I would shorten it a bit more, make it much more of a bomber jacket. I'm seeing the comments, guys. I'm just trying to focus on it because I want to get my words out when I bring this up. Shorten this, make this more of, say, a bomber jacket. And she's got gloves. She doesn't have gloves on. Yes, she does. Okay, she's got gloves on. Okay, so bomber jacket with I would do a hanging. I would have some straps. Added more to the drawing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like an Amari like character in the game. Get the gloves in as well. I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of, this is just a rough sketch. Here. Here, I need to name this rough sketch because this is going to be a, so I'm going to go full rough sketch. I would shorten the jacket a bit, and I would make it much more of a bomber jacket than what we see here. What I would probably do is that yellow and orange stripe. I would wrap that around a bit more to make it a bit more like stylish, to have a little bit more stylish kind of a stylish kind of look to it. The hair, the conventional jacket as well. I think that would be nice here too, because I saw some shit. Right, I'm sorry to hear that. You are Jordan Amon. Hmm, interesting. But I would like if you're gonna go with that whole Pegasus looking motif for the back of the jacket, then I would take that orange stripe pattern, make it almost like a wing pattern that wraps around the side along the back of the jacket. The the tank top underneath. Um the tank top underneath. Right, I'm so sorry to hear that. Right, as a as a compensation, right, you are more than welcome to hop on Makini Live or Makini in the morning and just hang out with us. If you want to do like a mini Riot Kitty Cafe segment on, my channel, it's just to hold out until March, because I understand that really sucks that your current claim got rejected. Um, so I would make just let me know. Like I said, I would make the bomber jacket a little bit. I would make it much more of a bomber jacket. I would make it a little bit more shorter, even kind of giving it off a Top Gun vibe to it. She could still be muscular but incredibly feminine. She could still be muscular but feminine. I would just make her more toned. I would just probably make her more toned, and I would probably extend it into like a midriff or something like that. Of course, give her the gloves. Of course, give her these gloves here. I would probably make it into more, maybe not fingerless gloves, maybe more full padded gloves, something for handling weaponry or handling a heavy machinery, something that's a lot more grip and such like that. I don't know why she's saying she might be carrying something behind her or something like that. I don't know. That pose. There was one Pinterest. Actually, there was one Pinterest I had. There was one image on Pinterest I had. I think it was a Farah or something like that. 1 second, guys. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. So I would shorten the jacket, and I would actually add. Not only would I shorten the jacket, I would have. Let me see. Okay, you're more than welcome. Right, you are more than welcome to join in on Sundays. I would cut the jacket short. I would cut a shorter jacket. Now, as far as the tank top is concerned, we'll go into the general body. You can still do muscular and you can still be feminine at the same time. You can still be muscular and feminine at the same time. And to those, to people who just pronounce, oh, you want something to jerk off to, it's like, no. It's just, in general, I would go for something like that. And I can't even find the design I'm looking for, dang it. It's all right, it's fine, that's fine. You can still be muscular, you can still be feminine at the same time, though. That's what I'm trying to say. So, let's do full body. Let's do full body this. And what I'm going to do is, instead of doing, and yes, I wouldn't go overt, but I would increase her bust just a little bit. Increase that bust just a little bit. Nothing overt, nothing over the top, just a little bit. And let's add on to, there's some good ones. There were some ones that I liked. There's ones that I liked and I want to try to play with a bit. Because we've had this discussion before. I know we've had this discussion before, but instead of doing the tank top, what I would do actually, I would do a bodysuit. I would do a bodysuit. Let's do a bodysuit. It's gonna have to be. We'll zip it up like this. Zip it up like this. We'll do a full bodysuit. It doesn't even have to be busty either. It's just full bodysuit. Maybe accentuate. I would probably give her a little bit more of a curve. I'd probably give her a little bit more curvature too. I would probably give her a little bit more curvature, in my humble opinion. Here. In fact, I would take that, because you want to keep it 80s, I would take that pattern. I would take that pattern on the jacket and I would accentuate that pattern on the bodysuit itself. On the bodysuit itself. And they can still have like little things such as like packets and such like that for items in like supplies and such. Here. Why not open the why not cut the zipper open? Just a little bit open. Just say, okay, it doesn't have to be too much. If you want, you can just you can maybe put a tank top underneath. The tank top underneath, I would go that way. If anything, what I would do, cut it off high there. Cut it off like that. You can still have the tank top, you can still have the look like that. I would make the leggings. You can do pants. We can still do pants, or we can, like, it's just that, make it like a full jumpsuit. Make it like a full jumpsuit, you know? Like a full jumpsuit like this. Oh. Right, you want to hang out this weekend? Let me know. I will send you the link, okay? Don't fret. I'm sorry to hear that, right? Seriously. Here. Something out the. If you want to keep the 80s look with like the Jordans, maybe something that's more intergalactic per se. Intergalactic looking Jordans or something like that. And keep that same pattern though. Keep that same pattern. If you want, I don't know how big baggy clothes were in the 80s, but if you want to make the jumpsuit a bit more baggy, I guess you could say. Okay. Okay. So let me finish this. Let me finish this real quick. I want to get through, and we'll get through a couple of things here. Let me just finish this real quick, and then we're going to go to 10-minute break because I want to get through I want to go through Asmongold's tweet, because Asmongold's tweet set off this whole thing, and it caused a meltdown. It caused an absolute meltdown. That's why I think that this is going to be another divisive looking. This is going to be another divisive. I think Asmund tweets. Oh, you hear it. Oh, you guys hear it too. No, but I think Asmongold's tweet really does set off really setting this whole thing off. So we'll do that. Mm-hmm. Actually, Makini. I would make her muscular though. I would still. I can still make her muscular though, just to make her toned. Yeah, I know that's kind of like a default though. I know that's a default, but I'm just. You know what I mean, Sean. You know what I mean. Here. I would have like a hanging belt. Honestly, I'm serious. I would have a hanging belt. I would have a hanging belt. Muscular Amber Rose, like fuck off, man. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. I know. I probably would have went a little further. Let me know if I'm trying to explain clearly, because I think I'm having a problem trying to explain what I'm trying to say clearly. Because I really don't think the character looks ugly at all. I don't think it looks ugly at all. I think the facial structure is fine because it's pretty much 1-for-1. But I'm gonna go on. Let me go to Asmongold's tweet because this one set the whole thing off, and I'm gonna set my timer to 6:48, 6:53. Let's do 6:53. Okay. Okay, Asmongold's tweet. Oh boy. This set off. Wow. Yeah, some people are melting down, some people are baiting, but this one right here. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like the market for masculine, non-conventionally attractive female leads in game isn't as big as the video game industry thinks it is. He's not completely wrong. I'll give you that. I just don't think there's a strong mark. I don't think he's wrong in a way because I don't think that like, hey, it's just that is there really a strong market for designs like this? Designs like what we see with Jordan. And I'm going to ask you guys in the chat: is there a market? Is there a market for designs like Jordan? And you know, I'm going to put up a poll. Yes, no. Yes, no, yes. There is a. Yes, it's a big market. No, it's a small market. It's a small market. So let's go ahead. Let's. I think that'd be a good question. Is there a market for designs like Jordan Intergalactic? Is there? It's a small market. Savvy made a good point. they're free to make whatever they want, but we are obligated to buy. I just wish more of these game studios would turn to animation studios. They clearly want to make cinematic experiences, which I'm dying to see more of. 3D animation takes less time in the game, but still uses all the creativity that the team has. I wonder why Square didn't keep pumping out things like Advent Children, and that's a good question. Oh, I don't see any comments though. That's a good point. Savvy makes a good point there. Some of most people are saying no. But this one caused a big meltdown, though. This one definitely caused a meltdown. Oh, Cam, I thought at first I was trying to give them a hint. They kept pushing people away, giving them what the developer rooms, as if men enjoyed it. Would deem attractive is an inherently bad thing. Even women like hot women. Cam's a good dude. Cam's a good dude. Cam is a good dude. Amazing artist, by the way. Cam is an amazing artist, by the way. Cam, the art guy. Follow him on YouTube and on Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, it's let's go ahead and look at the quote tweets because I am just want to make sure it's 4:52. Okay. I get 2 more minutes, so let's just go through some of the quote tweets because some people were just melting down though. Some people were just melting down, like seriously. A guy who looks like this, rejected Chris, I talked to you well. It's incredible. Wrong. Okay. You stink ass. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Tag is just baiting. Tag is just baiting, basically. Yeah, it says Bill. You cleaned up his room, though. I don't basically. Yeah, I don't though. Except we don't. Like most people, maybe it's just me, but I don't feel like you should base a game on how fuckable the lead character is. You live a miserable life. No, it actually doesn't. No, you actually. Thanks for missing the point. I hate gamers so much. This man plays video games, whatever. Call these women ugly as a cardinal sin. She's pretty though. She is pretty. I never said she was ugly, but she's damn pretty. Tati Gabrielle is damn pretty though. Yep. Yep. Okay, let's see this. Very interesting, huh? Very, very interesting. Wow. Wow. Okay. Then. We still got more though. We still got more. Strato, good morning. Also, Corey's Kitchen Monsters. Why we make? I have no idea. I have to look that up. Okay. Come on. Let's get going. Let's continue. All right, let's continue. Yeah, it caused a bit of a stir and a meltdown. We might watch. Rev's video, kind of go over the subject because the meltdowns are very interesting. Of course, Asman, biggest name in there, is going to take the forward, and despite my stance on this, is like no, it's like missing. I guess some ways missing the point entirely. It's like just appealing designs can work. And that's something everybody likes. Something that it doesn't have to be overly sexualized. It doesn't have to be fat bait or whatever. It's like, whenever I hear those kind of arguments, it's like you just play games just to come. It's like, no. It's like, so you're not even taking what we're saying. You're not even engaging in what we're trying to say. So it's like stuff that's just like you got to take that. It's just like I see that it's just like taking that out, you know. And Nutman, Strato, good morning to you. Penny, good morning to you. Bandito, good morning to you. This whole thing, man. This whole thing. So let's look at the base design. So let's go ahead and do the face. Let's go ahead and knock the face out. I wouldn't make a single change to the face, honestly. I wouldn't. I actually wouldn't. What I would do is like I did in my little redraw from last week. I would play some hair. I would add hair, basically. I would have had some hair to it, basically, because I think it's just the baldness just does not work with this. It just does not work. It screams way too. It screams way too butch. It screams way too butch. And it just doesn't work. For someone to talk to Gabrielle, it just does not work. It's too much of like a Britney Spears, like when Britney Spears had her meltdown in like 2007. Mental breakdown, basically. So we're going to turn that into, not even butch women like to shave their heads. Yeah. We're going to turn that into a more cyberpunk like hair design. Yeah, we're going to turn it into more of a cyberpunk like design. And I did do a version with the braids. I did do a version with how I would do braids, like short dread, something that's very maintainable. But I would play with a more 80s cyberpunk hairstyle, especially with long hair. And I think that this is where, in my humble opinion, I think this is where the side of the head shaven can actually work. I'm dead serious. This is why I think the side of the head shaven can actually work. So let's do the face. So we're gonna keep everything. The face we're gonna keep, basically. So you just want to make sure that the eyes are. You want to make sure that the eyes are. I think the ultimate thing is that it's just way too. I think the problem is just the general thing we see with a lot of characters. It's way too manly and muscular. You can still pull off the feminine form, but if it's a pattern recognition and if it's doing that for obvious reason, and if it's deliberate and if it's done as a pattern recognition, then you can F off with that. Plus plus, I think I see this the way I see like a Kim K or something like that, where it's the attitude that's just, it's not tough looking. It just looks wannabe. It just looks like a wannabe tough. I'll check. It really does. It's unlikable. I just don't find anything that's unlikable. I just don't find anything likable about this design. I think with, and I mean in terms of just like, I just don't see her, especially with how she acts towards like the person on screen, to the wannabe Snake Plissken on screen. I'm just like, okay, this is, I feel like you're hitting too much of this GB, trope. And of course, this game was made in, you could tell this game was made in 2020. So that was probably also another case of that. But but like I said, we're going to keep basically everything here. We're going to keep, okay? We're going to keep everything here. And this will likely be and unless there's some big developments or anything like that, this will likely be the last time I talk about Intergalactic. It's like, I just don't like give, because I don't want to give Cuckman any more form of attention that they already need. So, and they already want. So this might end up being the last time I talk about Intergalactic. It's just how I would say, and just move on from this, because it's for them. Let's what. Hopefully the game is successful, breaks that mold. But I'm sorry, this ain't. But this is a lot about what this trailer is a turn off for me. So let's get into the hair. All right. So playing towards the half Korean, half and we can do. And it doesn't even have to be overtly long, okay? It doesn't even have to be overtly long, okay? So here's how I would do it. All right. Let's take the dread. Let's take those braids. Let's take those braids that Tati Gabrielle had in some of the films she was in. Let's take some of those braids. What I would do just like this. I would do it just like that. It doesn't even have to be long, though. It doesn't even have to be long. It can just be it can even be overtly short. But it is very punk-like, though. It doesn't even have to be long. It can just be overtly short. And what I would do to kind of add on to the sci-fi, what I would do to add on to the sci-fi, maybe we need to play Marvel Rivals. Maybe I need to play Marvel Rivals at some point. All right, okay. So what I would do, I would take that. I would add. I would do the side braids, like what I showed off on Sunday. I would do the side braids, and hey, Keely, roll tide. And for where the part is shaven, what I would add is I would add cuffs. I would add these like sci-fi, or you could even go something like a cuff or something like that, like a sci-fi looking cuff. Something like a sci-fi looking cuff on this, maybe. This is just a rough sketch. I would make it short so that way the braids are not it's not long. It's not terribly long, so it's easier to maintain. That's what I would do generally. That's what I would do generally. This right here, okay? So that'll be the first one. That would be the first one I do. So if we turn this off. Oh, thanks, Grumpy. Okay, so that's what I would do. So I roughed it just like that. Now I'm gonna adjust this canvas size. I'm gonna adjust this canvas size because what I'm gonna do next. We'll do it in the form of because we can do this in the form of, say, a because we can do this in the form of, say, a character sheet. We can do this in the form of a character sheet, basically. So we're going to keep this. Cutlass, thank you so much. So we're going to keep this. Mr. Bug was gifted a membership by Cutlass. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cutlass. I really appreciate that. Really, really do appreciate that. Where's my thing here? Okay, so we get some people watching. Thank you so much, thank you so much, Old Skin, these two gaming Cutlass. Really appreciate that. And let me give you a thank you for, as always, for the gifted membership, my friend. Thank you. Cutlass has got the biggest cup size on the chat in the chat right now. Cutlass has got the biggest cup size. Let me do a second. Oh, let me do a second rough. Cutlass has got the biggest cup size in the chat right now. So, I love playing that clip. I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay. So let's do. So I'm gonna play with. I want to play with another. I want to play with another look. We're gonna play with another look, okay? So we're gonna play with another look. I don't work as fast as others. I know. I'm not as fast as others, so. Let's see what something I can off here. Here, I miss my cups. Ronnie G, good morning to you. I don't know if I'm getting rated by Loki right now, but thank you. Thank you so much, bro. You only got 10 minutes, so I'm gonna do this quick rough. I do have some other ideas. So let me grab. What I want to do is I want to grab a pose from. What was that? And I did like a bit of fan art for Intergalactic, by the way. Oh, okay. Here we go. That's the pose I'm looking for. I suppose I'm looking for. Thank you. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Here. Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning. I don't know procedures, man. So let me know what you guys think of the design. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe a little too over. I would argue this might be a little too overly designed on that first one. So I keep making this Saturday. Thank you so much. I'll try to. I'll try, Bandito, but thank you. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Let me go ahead and like this one. Okay. Here. Because like I said, we can still build that musculature. You can still build that musculature. You can still build that musculature. You can still have that feminine form though. So I'm gonna kind of play with different ideas. Okay. Something here. So if I were to change this, this is much more of a softer look. Here. Here, this one. I think it's funny because they would push this shit along with. Yeah, give her a little bit more of a bust. I would. Now, as far as tattoos are concerned, I'd be mixed on the tattoos. It really does depend. I take it as a case by case situation. With the tattoos, all in all, if I don't know. I really do not know on that one. It's a mixed bag. I would honestly, I would do. Honestly, I would have the tattoos be a bit more on the subtle. I would have a bit more subtle tattoos, honestly. Ones that are maybe ones that are more maybe ones that are more alien like, you know? Maybe ones that are more alien like sci-fi graphics, something like that. Something like an 80, something very sci-fi like tattoos, you know? Something that has a more sci-fi appeal to it, you know? Maybe, just maybe. Maybe not go the full prison tattoo though. Something that is a more something that would add a very sci-fi like even a fantasy magical element. Apologies, hey. Apologies, where are you by the way? Let's hear where you're stationed at. It's pretty cold right now. No. Here. It's only got 3 minutes. It's like you said, it doesn't even have to be like very curvy or anything like that. It can just be. It could just doesn't have to be very curvy or anything like that. It just just this is enough. It looks rough. I know. It looks rough. I know it looks rough. Let me do that again. I also look shit right now. Anyway, because even then, it's. So I think if I break this down, if I break it down a little further, it's the haircut. It's the manly. It's still that. It still just has that manly girl boss tone. It's that personality. I just don't see as likable. I just don't see it as likable and endearing unless they really do. Unless Druckmann nails it in the writing, and I don't trust Druckmann's writing as far as I can throw him. So, and Druckmann's a pretentious creator who wants so bad to be the Western version of Hideo Kojima without even having any of the moniker of talent, any moniker of intelligence behind it. He just wants to be a Hollywood. He just wants to be a Hollywood writer. This is all I see it. Why am I fucking this up? Why am I? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anything with a stink of Cuckman is anything that's a bunch of Cuckman is automatically a no for me. Especially with them shitty Joel, especially how shitty they handled Joe's death in Last of Us 2, and trying to make us sympathize for a really terrible character, honestly. All right, So I got 27 seconds. In fact, what we can do the standard side of the head shaven with this one. Because I think that would be a much better idea, in my opinion. We could do just the standard mental illness haircut, but got it. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, so something like that, maybe. I'm still kind of in the thumbnail. I'm still kind of in that thumbnail period. But this one could work. Now, it's 7:22. Okay, we got plenty of time. Now, what spurred this? What is going? Oh no. Oh, there you go. Now, what spurred this? I will admit, what kind of spurred this? What kind of spurred this? What kind of spurred me to make this video or make this stream is actually, I got 11 people watching. We're gonna listen to. I want you to listen to this, okay? Where is my no? What's my history? Because I need. So where is it? Okay. This came from the Decembro on YouTube. I'm going to put a link to not only his video, but there was a certain section here that kind of spurred me to make the Makini in the morning based on this. Okay, so just hang on. All right, I'm going to take the audio up. Ready? All right, let's go play it.
Because of the creative decisions to directly go against anything that would make her design be more appealing or conventional, such as
here
causes these notable patterns to exist in the first place. And I bring this stuff up often because it's very important for people to understand exactly what it means. It's important for people to understand that when people complain about certain things, they're not complaining about the individual element, they're complaining about what it represents. So for example, the primary reason why I am worried about The Witcher 4 is not that Ciri is a playable protagonist, which I already knew was bound to happen after CD Projekt Red announced that Geralt's story was told. Given the role that she played throughout Witcher 3, it was only a logical next step to make her the protagonist of the series going forward into a new trilogy. And it's not that her face looks different, weird in some angles and fine in other angles, in a cinematic trailer that doesn't even tell us much, since Witcher 3 cinematics also had Geralt looking different, downright goofy sometimes. I'm fine with waiting for more trailers or footage where she isn't constantly scowling, because how many of us actually look our best when we're angry or mad? Hell! It isn't even that Ciri was made into a Witcher, which is already a much more serious problem that not only goes against the established lore, but it also degrades the quality and development of her character. A character that already had everything she needed to be stronger and far more interesting than a Witcher through her elder blood, and that I was already wishing that I could play more with back in 2015 during the playable levels as Ciri. But now she's been reduced to just being another Witcher with the potions and the signs and the scenes, stuff that we already had plenty of, and that obviously breaks the lore, or the canon, however the fuck you want to call it. Regardless of how much more serious this stuff is, this individual element would still not be enough to break the game for me if I could trust the studio, because after all, we can also romance Triss Merigold and finish our romance route with her going and retiring in Kavir or whatever, which is not in the books, but that I still love to have the option of. These individual elements are nothing to me in comparison to what I see all over their website, their full devotion to DEI, their full commitment to ESG, not just in their future games, but also in retroactively applying it to their past successes when we know that they did not exist, and not even simply just their games, but the
Sorry, I'm
entire
looking something
studio
up real
and the
quick.
culture inside. They've sunk so low that they've hired an ex-Sweet Baby Inc. activist to join their writing staff and placed her as a senior writer for future projects. CD Projekt Red, as it was, has fallen. The studio culture and the people that brought us the Witcher trilogy and even the best parts of Cyberpunk 2077 are no longer there. Instead, now we have a studio that, instead of excitable pro-gamer language, have a bunch of fucking bullshit about diversity, equity, and inclusion, manipulative, politically driven language littered across their websites, and they push towards the corporatization of their studio, a place that doesn't even look like a game studio anymore, looks more like a fucking 5-star resort, complete with actually discriminative programs that exclude passionate men from applying to a free ride through game development school with the support of the studio. This is what they have been slowly turning themselves into
Nico.
over the past 4 years. These are ideologically driven decisions that quite literally corrupt everything a studio produces until it eventually is completely...
Let's go to this one. The character appearance.
So
Okay.
let's get back to the character's appearance. Even if Naughty Dog had perfectly scanned the actress's face, which isn't even that far from it, to be fair, in comparison with KVS, Ubisoft obviously did a much worse job. In some
Yes, they did.
instances, it seems that Naughty Dog scanned her damn near perfectly, and maybe the issue that makes it so disjointed is the fact that they shaved her head completely, removed all traces of makeup, and got her dressed like a dude. But as it stands, the ideologically driven decision-making would always keep them from presenting the character in a good light, because this far-lefty woke mind virus is against conventional designs. Again, harkening back to the beginning of this video, this design was not made to appeal to people, it was made to be divisive and shocking. For example, if you Google the actress Tati Gabrielle, she has various looks that she goes with. I didn't find a single one where she has gone full bald. She does have some where her hair is very short, like this one here, but she also has looks with longer hair, like this one here. However, sadly, she also has...
That one's pretty. That one on the right is pretty, I gotta say. That one right is damn pretty. I love that.
Tati Gabrielle. Possible outcome. However, they still had plenty of better options to go for. Conventional designs. Again, harkening back to the beginning of this video, this design was not made to appeal to people, it was made to be divisive and shocking. For example, if you Google the actress Tati Gabrielle, she has various looks that she goes with. I didn't find a single one where she has gone full bald. She does have some where her hair is very short, like this one here, but she also has looks with longer hair, like this.
If it were me, I would go for the one on the right. I really would. But keep it within the conventions of the universe they're setting up, I wouldn't. I would admit that. But if it were me, if there was limit, I would go for something like that on the right. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious. I love that.
This one here. However, sadly, she also has looks that would have been far worse than the shaved head, like this one here. So I guess props to Naughty Dog for not going for the absolute worst possible outcome. However, they still had plenty of better.
Okay, so in my humble opinion, I said this on Sunday. With Siri, it is just what it is it's just the cinematic. That's all we have to go by is the cinematic. We haven't seen like the actual gameplay or what she looks in game. So the cinematics is all we have to go by. And with the cinematics alone, I think she looks fine. I think Siri looks fine. It's just my only thing is that it's just it's just that some shots in the cinematic trailer are a little inconsistent. I just find some inconsistency with it, but all in all, I think it's fine.
Options to go for if it was indeed their intention to make a appealing character. So I gotta respectfully ask right now, if it was not their intention to make a conventionally appealing character, why are we demonized for criticizing the design of the character for not being appealing? I hate this far left gaslighting bullshit where it's like, oh, you don't like this, or you've never seen the...
By the way, I think that was kind of what by the way, that's how I made this trailer basically. or wanted to make this stream based on this. I will admit, it was just those words. Yeah. Because I'm just seeing this discourse.
Oh, you think all women look the same? It's like, what the fuck are you defending here? This is the intended reaction from the studio. From the perspective of the studio, you're just a useful idiot. But anyway, that's all really beyond the point. The point is that Naughty Dog's decisions to make her look like this are just to deliberately strip her of any perceived femininity. Nothing would have stopped them from taking the exact same actress and make her look like this. I've got no idea what was the movie that she used this look for, I don't really care. All I know is that it would have been a far more fitting and appealing look for everyone across the goddamn planet, because at the end of the day, this is the big issue here. It's that they deliberately went so far as to make her unconventional that it stepped away from a stylistic choice to make the character be designed in an unconventional yet cool way, which for example you can find in several games. You got the Borderlands franchise.
Let me play that again. Let me play what you just said right there.
Look like this are just to deliberately strip her of any perceived femininity. Nothing would have stopped them from taking the exact same actress and make her look like this. I've got no idea what was the movie that she used this look for, I don't really care. All I know is that it would have been a far more fitting and appealing look for everyone across the goddamn planet, because at the end of the day, this is the big issue here. It's that they deliberately went so far as to make her unconventional that it stepped away from a stylistic choice to make the character be designed in an unconventional yet cool way, which for example you can find in several games. You got the Borderlands franchise with all...
And I'm going to be honest with you here. And I think it's not even attractiveness. It's there has to be a coolness factor to it. And I'm sorry, nothing, absolutely nothing about Jordan's design in this game looks cool in the slightest. It doesn't. That's a whole thing. That's a whole thing that it doesn't look badass. It doesn't look. It doesn't. And that's my opinion. It's a lot of times when people tend to forget about. A lot of times people tend to forget about when it comes to this freaking discussion here. But I'm gonna like the video. Like I said, the full link to the full video. Link to the full video in the chat. Go ahead and do a watch. But we're gonna watch a bit more of this segment here because that is what I'm trying to. That is basically what I'm trying to say here. Is that there has to be a coolness factor that goes along with it. It's not just sexy for the thing is sexy. It's just attractiveness just for saying attractiveness. There has to be a coolness factor behind it. Nothing about this is cool. We can agree to disagree. But nothing about this is cool.
All kinds of character designs that are unconventional but look cool. There's also plenty of examples all across the hero shooter genre, except for...
You can have an unconventional design and still make it look cool. And that's what I don't see here. I'm serious. That's what I don't see here. You can make an unconventionally attractive design and still make it look cool. And I don't see that so freaking ever. I just don't see it.
Concord, of course, where much like with Intergalactic, the desire to make ugly and unappealing characters was so great that they overshot it and caused people to just not feel like playing the video game because, newsflash, people like to look cool in them. I would also throw in, for example, games that have good base character designs but that allow for more unconventional styles through optional haircuts and outfits, such as Jedi Survivor, Cyberpunk 2077, etc. But anyway, let's move on. The character ended up being straight up ugly and unappealing because of the creative decisions to directly go against anything that would make her design be more appealing or conventional, such as hair, makeup, and other feminine features, all in the name of this retarded and unnecessary ideology that demonizes beauty and femininity or tries to redefine it just for imaginary virtue signal points or for a desire to force behaviors.
You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. You know, what we're doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted, okay?
We're doing the same
And
thing.
so it's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race, or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And
It's this classic old tired thing of challenging beauty standards. People are sick of this, man. Like, take this screenshot for example. Newsflash, darling, you said losers aren't most gamers. Touch grass and stop whining about everything that isn't for you specifically. Dumbasses like this say things like that because they think that this is legitimately about racism, sexism, or whatever the fuck other kinds of phobias they've got in their lexicon ready to throw at anyone that offends anyone else with a made-up, unconventional gender identity. They haven't yet grasped the reality that this is actually just about the games, just about the entertainment, be it a game or a show or a movie, whatever it is. Their IQ has been so fucking decimated by TikTok and far-left propaganda that they can't even fathom the concept of a person who has nothing against women, nothing against people of color, and nothing against gays, lesbians, bis, and hell, even trans people, not liking these games, these products. Because they suck. I mean, Jesus, their brains have been turned into shit to such an extent that they can't even picture that many of us complaining about this stuff are women, people of color, according to them anyway, I personally loathe the term, gays, lesbians, bisexuals, and from some of my very own comments, even trans people. These people know only one thing. They're fucking echo chambers, and nothing else. 2024 has been a year of unanimous rejection against this slop. It's been a year where a bunch of normies, for lack of a better term to describe just random everyday people who have a myriad of other things in their minds to worry about and have no time to get into all of this stuff, they just go to work, they take care of the house, they pick up their kids, they tend to their parents or their grandparents, they have random shit piled up on a fucking to-do list like fixing the garage door or whatever, and then they like to simply unwind to a game or a show or a movie at the end of the day. It's been a year where even
Let me add on to something on the very top of this, okay? Let me add on top of this. You want to know why Marvel Rivals does you want to know why there's so much a strong resonance with Marvel Rivals compared to something like Concord? Because regardless if it's attractive, regardless if it's cool, they created designs that you actually want to play as. That's part of the appeal. So let me ask you this, and I know this is going to be a very subjective, and I mean a very, very subjective statement, but I'm going to ask everyone in the chat this same question. Do you want to play? Does this scream, I want to play as this character? I'm being conventionally, I'm being honest. Do you want, and I'm asking everyone in the chat, do you want to play as this character from just by design alone? Is this enough of an appeal to make you want to play as this character? Riot Kitty says no. I want to hear from everyone else. And if I'm wrong, then I'll happily admit that I'm wrong. But do you want to play as this character? Blackout says no. Sean, Grumpy, Cavatino, everybody watching, do you want to play as this character? I will keep this image up. I will keep these images up for another minute. Do you want to play as this character? If you had the opportunity, no. Power said if he had the opportunity, no. Not the left or right version. By the way, that was an edit to make them look a bit more feminine, and K Nautic did a fantastic job with that edit, by the way. I just want to share that. But do you actually want to play as this character? So we got no. So we got 4 people say no. Everybody else, do you want to play as this character? See, here's the thing. There has to be a coolness factor behind it. There has to be a factor that says, yes, I want to actually play as this character. When you go so far as to be unconventional, it doesn't even need to be unconventionally attractive. If you just go so far as just being unconventional at all, then people are going to vote and say they're not going to play. They don't want to play as this character. Not a slight against Smith Williams. Okay, so that's a no. It's just, this is what I'm trying to say. Because if it looked like if I was female, I had a daughter, only someone would pay me to play that game and stream it. No. Okay, so no. So pretty much a lot of people are saying no. Would you want to play this character? No. It doesn't even have to be attractive. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be conventionally attractive. But it doesn't. I'm sorry. But I'm sorry. There's a coolness factor that isn't. Okay, let's throw this here. Let's go. Let's do another one. Here, we'll do another one, okay? Let me ask you this, and I'm going to ask everyone this question. Is this character cool looking? That is going to be a very subjective term. Is this character, based on this trailer right now, is this character cool looking? Here, I'll play the trailer. We'll play the trailer. We'll play the trailer. Okay? We'll play the trailer. We'll play the trailer. I want you to look at this trailer dead in the eye and ask you, and this is the question I'm asking. Is this character cool looking? Because I know that is going to be a very subjective response. There's going to be a very opinionated response. Is this character cool looking? Bandito says no. She looks like Grok went over to generate imagery of a head shave, but today's U.S. Army, Fort Knox, Kentucky. So, Cavatinho, is that a yes or a no? Is this character cool looking? It doesn't have to be. You can create a cool looking character. You can create an appealing character. It doesn't have to be attractive. It doesn't have to be sexualized. I'm trying to. You see the point where I'm coming from. No copy the "We Are Family" meme. Okay, so is this character cool looking? I'm asking everyone on this. I'm asking everyone watching right now. Is this character? You know what? Actually, fine. Let's split the poll. Split this poll. Okay, come on. Put a poll. Is Jordan cool looking? Sorry, but I was just trying to survive those days just to graduate. Okay. Captain says yes. Okay. Captain says yes. Me. Good point. Captain says yes. Okay. Bandito says no. No copy where family meme, so Blackout's probably going to say no on that one. Okay, you see the point. Okay, so you see the point I'm trying to make, right? So you can see the point that I'm trying to make, right? You see the point I'm trying to make. It's like you can make it attract. You know, it doesn't even have the character doesn't even have to be attractive. If you can make them cool looking, and would that still be would do you? It goes back to, do you want to play as this character? That's what it comes down to. Do you want to play as this character? I'm asking you this. Do you want to play as this character? And I'm not saying every game should have an attractive, cool-looking character, but if you're trying to appeal to a large audience, if you are trying to garner a large audience, trying to really make something here, you gotta. Sometimes you do have to read rules. Sometimes you have to understand people do want to just play. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't even have to be attractive. If they could just be cool-looking characters. For many people, that's just enough. That'll be just enough to grab their attention. So I want to go back. So we're gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to this. Let's continue.
These people are waking up to the boring, repetitive, ideologically driven bullshit programming that they already more than know about, that most of them are more than fine coexisting with, and that many of them even have genuinely no issue whatsoever so long as it's kept itself to the grounds of equality and privacy, rather than expanding it to the point of ideological takeover, which is where we're at right now, where women have their sports and female spaces compromised, where men are constantly berated or demonized for having a dick, unless they're trans men, of course. If that's the case, then they're actually brave and stunning. Isn't it funny how the far left is like, no, trans women are women, and trans men are men. There is no separation of this term. To do so is transphobic, except when they say that all men are pigs, in which case only the actual cis men are the pigs, the trans men are not. All of a sudden, there's a fucking separation. And of course, worse than that, the move towards the indoctrination of children through the injection of gender theory and identity politics nonsense into schools, which is probably the number one thing that managed to shift scores of left and center-leaning people into leaning towards the right. We've reached a point where this kind of garbage is all cobbled together because this industry allowed, nay, it encouraged and sought out the politicization of their AAA studios and mainstream, wide audience-reaching video games. 10, 20 years ago, you could sit down and play a fucking video game caked in-universe politics without having a single issue with it crossing boundaries and hammering you, the player, in the head with a constant stream of the message. Hell, you could do it in a row. There were tons of them. Deus Ex, Tom Clancy, Siphon Filter, Metal Gear, Bio...
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, I want you to look at this design. Okay, I'm trying, because I'm trying to understand the point I'm trying to make. I really do hope you guys understand the point I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to understand. Because everybody thinks it's like, oh, sexual attractiveness whatsoever. No, there is also a coolness factor. There's a reason. It gives you a reason to want to play as, from a visual standpoint, give you a reason to want to play as this character. I just don't see it. So, because people want to come in, and try to. If you want to argue, we want to have an argument. This fine. We can have an argument about this, but let me put it in this way. Then let's put it this way. Let me find a good shot of Jordan. Let me find a real good shot of Jordan. The sad part is there's no full body. Sad part is I don't see like I want a full frontal body shot of Jordan. So I'm going to ask you this. So we'll just son of a bitch, I cannot find it. Let me find a front shot, Jordan, because I want to also exaggerate this point here. If you put, let's put both side by side. Dang, 100%. Okay. So let's put both side by side. Let's do a side by side then. I know this is probably a bad photo. Which I want to put one. Ones and twos in the chat. Which version would you actually want to play as? Which version would you actually want to play as? The one on the right, the official version, or this sketch that I did? Okay, Rye Kitty says 1. So no, we're running low on time right now, but yeah, we are running very low on time right now. So Rye Kitty says 1. I'm just being honest with you. 1 with the flowing hair. Okay, Cavatina Shea says 1. And let me ask you this. To those who say 1, can you just can you explain what is it that you would find much more appealing about playing as this version or in the right version? I would love to know. Regardless, if you say 1 or 2, if you guys can just give a short explanation on why you would think what looks more appealing. What is it about one? What is it about my design that would make you want to play as? What is it about the original design that you would rather play as? Rye Kitty says better. One has better, less cursed proportions, and it's not bald. Okay, one has more of a modern Wuxa female warrior. Okay. I respect. No, thank you. No, I respect that. I respect that. I appreciate that. The thing is that I try to make it cool looking. I try to make her look more cool looking. It doesn't have to be attractive. It doesn't even have to be over sexualized. Just make it cool though. If you can make her look cool though, like seriously. So, the character really doesn't look cool, but she does look potentially cool. Hey, Grumpy, are you referring to number 1 or number 2? I'm just kidding. Are you referring to the one on the left or one on the right? Jay, let me ask you this question. Which one for my version, 2 for second version? Which version would you actually want to play as? Would make you want to play as? That character doesn't look cool, but sure does look potentially cool. Okay. Grumpy is saying 2. Because there's potential for this character design to look cool. For that character design to look cool. Is that what you're saying, Grumpy? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. Is that what you're trying to say? Only because I can't find. Jay would put 2. Okay, fair point. Okay, fair point. That's a fair point. Jay would prefer the one on the right. Jay would prefer one on the right. So we got 2 votes for 1, 2 votes for 2. The ultimate question, just the question is, which version would make you want to play this game? Would make you want to play this character? The one on the left or one on the right? I would actually consider playing as 2. The original design has potential, even bald, but looks uncool. Okay. So you would still want to play that. Okay. That's respect. That is, no. I respect that. I completely respect that, Grumpy. Thank you. Here, I'm gonna give you Don DeMarco just for that. Don DeMarco. There you go. Star, good to see you. We are about to wrap it up because I need to get ready for work. But I would consider playing as 2. The original design has potential, but even bald, but look uncool. But looks uncool though. Okay. Wait. Yeah, which one? Okay. The question is, I put 1 in the chat for left and 2 for the right. Which one would you want to play as? Which one would make you want to play the game? That's what I'm saying. Which one would make you want to play the game? The one on the left? If you select the one on the left, pick 1. The one on the right is 2. So put 1 or 2 in the chat. And Jay said 2. That's... They were trying to go for a modern rebel Shaolin warrior nun vibe with her sword that has a laser. Yeah. I agree. I totally agree, especially with this image right here. Shay, that's a good point. That is a very good point, especially with that image. The point I'm trying to say, but you guys can understand the point I'm trying to say, right? The left means the one on the left is mine. That was my design. The one on the right is the original. So Bandito would want to play with the second design. Okay, this is okay. You guys are okay. I think you guys are getting confused. Okay, I think I'm confusing you guys. Okay, so which Sorry, that was my fault. That was my fault. I should have been much more clear on that one. Which design would make you want to play as that character? Sorry. I am so sorry about that. Okay, hopefully that clears it up. Okay, hopefully it clears it up. So you see what's on the left, and then you see what's on the right. And okay, someone prefer the original. Okay, listen, because I need to get out of here. But the point I'm trying to say is this whole argument. People want to bring up this argument about character has to be sexy or attractive. But it's like, no, appealing can also mean the character can just look cool. Doesn't have to be attractive. They can just look cool. And looking at the votes right now, it's a 50-50 split. People would want to play as that version. And totally fine with you, but what I'm trying to say is that people want to try to throw that whole, you want to fap to or whatever. And it's like, no, it's just, we like appealing designs. They don't have to be over sexualized. People like appealing designs, and people will find this one. People do find this one appealing. Fair point. But when you try to throw the whole when you try to throw that argument out, that's not an argument. Because you're missing the coolness. You're missing that there has to be also a coolness factor to it as well. Why do you think Marvel Rivals design succeeds in so many ways that Concord doesn't? Even take and let's put it this way. Even if they weren't established, let's put it this way. Even if they weren't established characters, even if they were not established characters, those would still be better designs. They would probably more on the generic side, but they would be better designs than what's on Concord, than what you see with Concord. Then Marvel Rivals, even if they were not Marvel characters, would still be better designs than what you see with Concord. Not just because because they make you want to play as the character. They actually make you want to play as that character. I'm going to leave a link to. I left a link to this video. I want everybody to watch this video in full because he does an excellent, because he breaks it down. But Des does a great job breaking down exactly what I'm trying to say here.
Bioshock, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, hell, even games like Witcher 2 and Skyrim had plenty of in-universe politics, and they never took you out of the immersion because these elements were there to serve the narrative and the world building, rather than to serve the fucking regime that these games were built under. Some people out there like to say that politics have been in games forever, as if to justify the inclusion of all of this beautifully for them. But we have the right to not like it, voice our criticism about it, and cross this game off of our lists without being misrepresented by corporate bootlickers and slop slurpers, who like to fucking act high, mighty, and virtuous with the usual shit.
What does it matter if she's bald? Have you never seen a bald woman? Wow, that is so embarrassing. You realize that you're like upset over a woman shaving her head? Like, wow, I have never seen someone be this embarrassing before. Newsflash.
And by the way, those arguments you immediately discard. You immediately discard them. Immediately. Because they are too much of a straw man.
Women with shaved heads exist for several reasons, actually, if you didn't know.
Shut the fuck up. It's time to step back into reality. The fake-ass virtue signaling, guilt-tripping, and peer pressuring to shut down speech and dominate the narrative over what is appropriate and inappropriate to ask questions about or complain about is over. It was done.
Yeah, you know what, bro? That's another Don DeMarco. Hang on. That's another Don DeMarco. Don DeMarco. Marco. So, point clear. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. I get ready for work. I'll play more with this. Look, maybe later on, but I still have a couple of drawings that I need to finish, such as the Squirrel Girl one and such like that. Yeah, somebody led the somebody there was already a leak of the story, and there's discussions on if that story leak is true or not. Considering Naughty Dog's history, especially with going after channels for story leaks, it's a toss-up if it's real. But I think it's leaning towards that the story leak might be true. Whatever. Anyway, guys, I wanted to just go on and just I wanted to dedicate Makini in the morning talking about this. If I have time, I'm probably going to come up with some more. I'll probably do a full drawing. I would like to do a full drawing of this at some point before the year is over and add that to the batch. I still got a couple more drawings I got to do. And thank you, everyone, guys. Seriously, thank y'all. Smack the like button, make it jiggle. Smack the subscribe button, make it jiggle. Thank you to everyone in CSF Nation. Join the channel for those all month. Thank you, Cutlass, and thank you, Mr. Bug, for joining the channel. Hail Stark. Hail, guys. And I might I think I'm going to. Thank you, Che. I mean that. Thank you. I think I'm going to make a video on this. I think this is going to be my next video. I think this whole discourse is going to be my next video. So when I get home tonight, I am probably going to start recording and bring my conjure my thoughts together. And Power said it perfectly. Interesting, appealing, and cool stories with characters that will always grab people's attentions. It doesn't even have to be sexy. It doesn't even have to be attractive. It can just be appealing. The Amber Rose video, I guess. Anyway, guys, I'm Makini, artist and illustrator, and I'll see you next time for another video live stream. So until then, stay cute, stay sexy, have fun, take care, much love. Never, and I mean this, never, ever apologize for wanting attractive women in media, especially in video games. Never, ever apologize for even criticizing what is going on in video games. Never, don't ever apologize for criticizing this. Your criticisms are just as valid as anybody else's. And above all else, never stop drawing.
Makini in the Morning is filmed before a live studio audience at Makini Studios in Arcadia Village's South Tower right here in Pacific City. Would you like to be a part of the next Makini in the Morning Watch audience? Of course you do. Perfect. All you have to do is visit youtube.com/Makini90 or call 765-9077 toll free for free tickets. Makini in the Morning is produced by Silver Knight Productions with Makini Draws Productions in association with Channel Nebi Television and is distributed by CSF Nation Domestic Television Distribution.